Sleep, sleep, sleep. This is James Swanwick, and today we're talking about the gold standard of sleep. In fact, you'll be listening to a keynote speech that I gave in Austin, Texas in January at our annual wellness weekend at the Hyatt Regency Hotel overlooking Lady Bird Lake in downtown, or just adjacent, I should say, to downtown Austin, Texas. I own a sleep company. It's called Swanwick Sleep. You can check it out at swanwicksleep.com, and I produce blue light blocking glasses, which are those orange lensed glasses that you wear when you're on computer screens, so you block that artificial light that is so damaging to our sleep. You'll hear me introduce myself in just a moment, so I don't want to be redundant and repeat myself, but I've been studying sleep now since 2015, interviewed the world's top sleep doctors, and I'm pretty sure that I guess I could call myself a sleep expert now. I'm not a doctor of sleep, but I've interviewed all of the world's top doctors of sleep. I've read every book. I produce sleep products. Most importantly, I sleep almost flawlessly most of the time. A lot of things that go into it, like getting natural sunlight, when to drink coffee, when not to drink coffee, when to drink alcohol, when not to drink alcohol. In fact, I actually say in this talk, which you're going to hear now, the best time to drink alcohol, if you are going to drink alcohol, and just a little hint, the time that I suggest will absolutely shock and surprise you. What else do I talk about here? Talk about why you have trouble falling asleep in some cases, or why, even if you think you're sleeping really, really well, you still wake up in the morning feeling tired. Why is that still happening? Well, all is revealed in this upcoming talk. And sleep is a huge component of stopping drinking as well, because if you're overtired, or if you're tired and irritated and frustrated, then you're more likely going to have alcohol cravings to try and numb yourself from that feeling. So everything here works holistically. If you are sleeping well, you're less likely to drink alcohol. If you're drinking less or no alcohol, you're more likely to sleep well. It's all connected. If you're not drinking alcohol and you're sleeping well, you're more likely to be present and engaged and less likely to be irritable and stressed and frustrated. If you drink lots of water and you get lots of sun and you exercise, you're less likely to have alcohol cravings. If you live a life of appreciation versus expectation, you're less likely to be irritable. You're more likely to sleep better. You're less likely to want to drink. You're more likely to wake up feeling refreshed and so forth. Everything is connected. So why am I playing a talk on sleep on an alcohol-free podcast? Because it's connected. It's all connected. And what we do inside of Project 90, which is our flagship program, which helps high performers to quit alcohol, is not just quit alcohol. It's to sleep better and to give people a gentle nudge, a gentle push to do that so they can lean into the best version of themselves. It requires a stretch. Imagine a human being and you're kind of like just stretching them, because people don't usually want to stretch. People don't usually want to lean into that resistance, which is why so many people on the planet drink, because drinking gets to temporarily help us avoid stretching and doing things that we don't want to do, even though we know that those things are good for us. So sleep is really the foundation of an all-round beautiful feeling life. There's some pretty nasty ramifications that are happening if you don't sleep well. Again, I don't want to be redundant and repeat myself. I'll just play the talk that I gave here at the Hyatt Regency in Austin, Texas in just a second. If you do want to explore the idea of working with us inside of our Project 90 experience and be held accountable for at least 90 days and to really stop the rut or get out of the rut, stop the drift that you're in, then give us a call, or at least get in contact. You can do that by having a call with one of our top coaches, Victoria English or Jim Martin. You can go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/schedule, or you can click the link in the description. If you'd like me to send you a free book called the 30-Day No Alcohol Challenge, you just cover the shipping, which will be about $7 or $8. But you want a hard copy book, you can go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/book. The YouTube channel, I should say, is at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/YouTube. I'll send you a copy of the Alcohol Freedom Formula, which is a digital document. You can print it out at home if you like. Go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/guide. Gets a bit tiring saying alcohol-free lifestyle over and over and over again. It's probably tiring for you listening to it as well. Anyway, I slept 7.5 beautiful hours last night. 6 hours straight. Woke up almost like I don't know what happened. Went and used the bathroom. Returned. Went right back to sleep for another hour and a half, and then I got up. I usually like to get between 7 and 8 hours. I feel like I'm waking up the way nature intended me to wake up. Life feels pretty good. I just get on with it. If you'd like to experience something similar, or you'd like to solve why your sleeping patterns have not been great up until this point, have a listen. Listen in. The gold standard of sleep. Here I am from Austin, Texas.
All right, we're going to get started here, guys. So everyone take a seat, please. I invite you to take a seat. Very good. Everyone meet someone new just then? Yes? Great. All right. So I'm just about to do a whole thing on sleep here. I actually gave this talk last December, about a month or so ago, when I was over in Bali. Let me just ask before I begin here, who feels like they sleep as well as they could possibly sleep? We got Travis, yeah, we got a few hands up here. Okay, great.
Mine's greatly improved.
Great.
Last couple months, yes.
Amazing.
It's been really good. We both are sleeping, especially when in a hotel, no dogs, no kids, none of that. We're sleeping like babies.
I love it.
24 hours.
I love it.
Yeah, we're good.
Who here thinks that their sleep could be better? Look at that. Got some hands in the room. Victoria as well.
Can I just take off for an hour?
So the intention of this talk is not to put you to sleep. It's at least not while I'm giving the talk, of course. All right, let's get into this, shall we? So what we're going to cover here is my sleep background. I'm going to talk about the benefits of sleep, the ramifications of bad sleep, one of the biggest culprits to poor sleep, and we're going to spend some time solving that particular problem. Then I'm going to walk through the gold standard of sleep, which is what you can do first thing in the morning, around noontime, and at nighttime. And then we'll talk a little bit about foods, drinks, and sleeping positions to help you sleep better. So just a little bit of background on me as it relates to sleep. I am the founder of this company called Swanwick Sleep, and we produce mostly these blue light blocking glasses, which this woman with the orange lens is wearing at the moment, and this gentleman with the clear lens. And I'm going to explain a little bit about what they do a little bit later. But I've had that business now since 2015. I've interviewed the world's best sleep doctors, including Dr. Michael Bruce, Dr. Chris Winter, and our products from Swanwick Sleep have been worn by noteworthy folks, including Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Hollywood movie star and former governor of California, Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Josh Axe, the Denver Broncos NFL team, Max Lugavere, the New York Times bestselling author of Genius Foods, basketball players including Paul George. Dr. Oz is a wearer of our products, Sean Stevenson, Ty Lopez. And our glasses, our blue light blocking glasses, which are affectionately known as Swannies, which I'll just model for you now, have been studied by Harvard Business Review, University of Washington, University of Arizona, Indiana University. So they've been independently studied to make sure that they do what they are supposed to do. Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants, LA Lakers, New York Rangers, New York Jets, Tottenham Hotspur, which is my team, English soccer team, all wear our glasses. And, professional sporting teams are now paying particular attention to the sleep of their athletes because that improves their performance on the field. So how many hours of sleep do we need? Well, the answer is most adults need between 7 and 9 hours a night for the best amount of sleep, although there are a small percentage of people who may need as few as 6 hours or as many as 10 hours of sleep each day. Women in the first 3 months of pregnancy often need several more hours of sleep than usual. What are the benefits of sleep? Well, It boosts our immune system, it prevents weight gain, it strengthens your heart, increases productivity, improves memory, resets the brain and body, and creates energy and cell restoration. It helps us to be rational, creative, find solutions to problems. It increases the blood supply to muscles, growth and repair of tissue and bones. There are studies that show that when people are sleeping well, there are less conflicts in relationships. It reduces the risk of diabetes, dementia, and heart disease. The longer and better you sleep, the longer your life. Studies have shown this. So just to summarize that, prioritizing your sleep, in my opinion, is the best life insurance policy that you can have. Now, what are some examples of this? Well, they did a study in Seattle, Washington, and they changed the school start times from 7:50 a.m. to 8:45, so almost 1 hour. Okay, they delayed the start of the school day by almost an hour. Student grades improved, and teen car accidents dropped 70%. Crazy, isn't it? Just by delaying the start of school and giving these kids an extra, let's call it 45 minutes, an hour of sleep. Teen car accidents is a massive issue. If you've got tired teens, they're not focusing. They're not paying attention. But just 45 minutes to an hour of additional sleep drops teen car accidents by 70%. What are the ramifications of insufficient and poor quality sleep? Well, we're more prone to serious medical conditions such as obesity, heart disease, high blood pressure, hypertension, and diabetes. Puts you in a bad mood. There's more conflict in relationships. We have a reduction in empathy, less compassion. We have difficulty weighing risks. We're more sensitive to potentially negative or threatening stimuli, more difficulty regulating our emotions, more impulsive. There's an increased appetite for nasty foods, including carbs and ice cream and cookies, which obviously leads to weight gain. If you're trying to diet and not getting sufficient sleep, then you'll hold on to what you want to lose, which in most people's cases is fat, and you'll lose what you want to keep, which in many people's cases is muscle or tone. What are some examples of poor sleep? Well, there was a 2014 study that showed that 1 hour of sleep during the spring forward to daylight saving time raised the risk of having a heart attack the following Monday by 24%. Daylight saving is a killer, according to this. By contrast, when falling back later in the year to gain an extra hour of sleep, heart attack risk fell 21%. On the following Tuesday after returning to standard time. Millions and millions and millions of people all over the world experience daylight saving. And when the clocks spring forward, your chance of a heart attack increases 24%. Isn't that nuts? Isn't that crazy? This is really interesting. Judges in the United States tend to give defendants longer sentences the day after switching to daylight saving time in the spring, compared with other days of the year, according to research published in Psychological Science. So please don't get arrested, please don't get charged with anything, and please make sure that you're not being sentenced in the days after daylight saving begins. If you stay awake more than 20 hours, you're as cognitively aware as someone who is drunk. A study showed that after 17 to 19 hours without sleep, performance was equivalent or worse than that of a blood alcohol concentration level of 0.05%. And after longer periods without sleep, performance reached levels equivalent to 0.1%. In Australia, my native country, the drink driving limit is 0.05. So if you don't sleep for 20 hours, you'll double that, just to give you some comparison there. To summarize that, the shorter you sleep, the shorter your life. Therefore, prioritizing your sleep is the best life insurance policy that you can have. All right, hands up, if you would, if you own any one of these devices. Everyone's hand is going up. Who here watches TV at night? Most of the room. Who here is watching it on a television screen? Who here is watching it on their cell phone? Okay. A lot of people got TV screens. Interesting. Okay. A recent study showed that we adults now spend half of our waking hours on digital devices. Travis was telling me earlier that he is addicted to his phone, like I'm sure most of us are here. Half of your waking hour on a digital device, does that sound right?
Yeah, it's the nervous tick now.
Yeah.
Grab it forever.
Yeah. So think about all the time that you're awake. How many times do you think we've checked our phones already today? A lot. A lot. Half of our waking hours on digital devices. 90% of us use some type of electronic device at least an hour before bed. Now, I'm going to illustrate to you shortly why that hour before you go to sleep is completely destroying your sleep at the moment, and how we can stop destroying the sleep. Okay? So yeah, bad news. Got some very, very bad news for you. Because these devices are emitting an artificial blue light which is compromising our sleep. And the artificial light that comes out of our cell phone, our TV screen, is causing us eye fatigue, headaches, diabetes, obesity, increased chances of cancer, which means this cat is in a lot of trouble. And just to really articulate how we've got to this point and how screens affect us, I'm going to invite you guys to come on a journey back through time with me. And we're going to look at the evolution of light and how light has affected our sleep over the years. Can anyone tell me what the name of this time machine is called from the movie Back to the Future? The DeLorean. There we go, Travis. The DeLorean from the movie Back to the Future in 1985. So we're going to go in the time machine and we're going to punch in a date somewhere around when we were cavemen and cavewomen. Now, imagine a time when we're cavemen and cavewomen, there is no artificial light. When the sun gets up, we get up. And when the sun goes down, we light a fire, we cook some food, we tell stories around the fire, and we fall asleep, and we're happy little cavemen and cavewomen. We're sleeping the way that nature intended us to sleep. And we're happy. We're running, we're hunting, we're foraging, we've got energy. There's not much, if any, obesity, diabetes, no one knows what that means. We've got energy, we're sleeping well, we're vibrant, we're just living the way that nature intended us to live. So now we're going to go in the time machine and we're going to move forward in time to around 300 BC. And the Egyptians start to form a true candle that is made out of beeswax. And now we're staying up a little bit later because we've got these kind of mass-produced candles. Then we go in the time machine, we go forward a century to 200 BC to Han, China. Candles are then starting to be made from whale fat. And again, we're using these now to light ourselves more at nighttime. We're staying up longer. Then we go in the time machine and we go through to 1415 and we start using these candles as street lighting. Then in 1834, the first patented candle-making machine is introduced. And this breakthrough allows candles to reach the homes of all classes. So again, we're staying up late. Staying up later, I should say. Now in 1879, what I consider to be the first most defining moment in history, as it relates to our sleep at least, was the introduction of the light bulb by Thomas Edison. And this thing is like a mini sun. And we're loving this mini sun because it's lighting our homes, we get to stay up late, we're staring at it, we're looking at it adoringly like this woman is. She's like, oh, I just want to make out with it. We're using it now on our desks late at night. We're staying up later. We're staring into this artificial light. And then, of course, we get into the 60s and 70s. And we've got these nasty fluorescent lights. Anyone ever worked under these fluorescent lights in a kind of soulless government building or a soulless corporate building? I see so many people nodding their heads. And it's tiring, right? It's a nasty light. Then in the 90s, after I watched the movie Wall Street with Gordon Gekko, Michael Douglas's character of a Charlie Sheen, and he's standing on the beach and he's got this brick of a mobile phone. Like, we look at that now and we laugh at it. But since then, mobile phones, cell phones have evolved, haven't they? And in the 90s, you could see here, there was a little screen. In 94 was a little screen. In 97, there was a little screen. In 98, 99, 2002, the screen in 2002 was a little bit bigger. And then can anyone tell me what happened in 2007? The iPhone, the introduction of the iPhone. Now look at the screen here. It's big. Takes up the whole device. And so now we're carrying around this mini sun in our pocket with us every single day. And then later comes the tablets. Anyone here got a tablet? Anyone use a tablet? Yeah, most people. Most people are using the tablets. And then the kids are misbehaving, so we give the kids the tablets. Or maybe they're not misbehaving, but we just want some peace and quiet. And so we'll say, here you go, little Johnny. Here you go, little Sally. Watch some cartoons, play some video games, and we're giving our children these devices, and they're staring into this mini sun, and the blue light is coming out of that screen and blasting their eyes. More on that in just a moment. Then we start watching TV on our phones. Who here watches, I don't know, TV series, Yellowstone, Game of Thrones, Victoria, there you go. Whatever shows you watch on your phone. Now we're carrying around little TV networks and we're staring into this screen. It's all pretty great, right? Unfortunately, no. Here's the problem. Your electronics are emitting an artificial blue light, which is lighting up the displays, and this is seriously bad for you because the blue light from your electronics is secretly preventing your body from creating the sleep-inducing hormone melatonin. Now, especially at nighttime, I'm going to go over this in just a second. And the truth is this, the blue light at night is hitting our brain and tricking our body into thinking it's still daytime. So I want you to imagine it's nighttime. The sun has already gone down. This is a time that when we were cavemen and cave women, our bodies wanted to naturally start producing melatonin to start preparing for sleep, to go into a restorative phase of sleep. But instead, what we're doing is we're turning on the lights, the kitchen light, the bathroom light, the bedroom light, the reading light, the microwave light, the refrigerator light, the speedometer light in our car, the McDonald's golden arches on the highway as you're cruising in your car, the traffic lights, the street lights, the alarm clock light. I'm in this hotel room. I can't tell you how many lights are on when I switch off seemingly the master light. It's crazy. The air conditioning light, the alarm clock light, the other alarm clock light, it's endless. And when this light at night, when this artificial light at night hits our eyes, what it does is it stimulates our pituitary and pineal glands. And the stimulation of those glands suppresses melatonin production. Okay? The stimulation of those glands suppresses melatonin production. What that means is that your body is unable to open up the melatonin faucet the way that it wants to be opened. So a free-flowing stream of melatonin can't get through because we're staring into these mini suns and our brain and our body is thinking, wait, it's daytime? Oh, okay, it's daytime. I won't let the melatonin flow the way that the melatonin wants to flow. And this shows up in having trouble falling asleep, tossing and turning in the night, or even if you fall asleep just fine, and even if you sleep 8 hours, you find yourself feeling surprised because you still don't feel fully rejuvenated. And you're scratching your head thinking, I had 8 hours, I've quit drinking alcohol, I fell asleep just fine, why am I still tired and lethargic? Chances are that your device, your phone, your television screen, your bathroom light, kitchen light, microwave light, refrigerator light is literally destroying your sleep. 70%, 7 out of 10 Americans struggle to fall asleep at least once a week. The average American now spends 30% of their leisure time browsing the web. 61% of us admit to being addicted to our devices. I mean, 61% seems pretty low to me. Dr. Bruce told the Dr. Oz show that chronic exposure to artificial light at the wrong time of the evening is dangerous to our health. The disruption of healthy sleep cycles is linked to elevated risk of cancer, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and other metabolic disorders, as well as to psychological stress and depression. So we're staring into these devices at nighttime and we're feeling depressed. Even though the shows that we're watching are quite exciting often, we're depressed. A Harvard University study found that people who used electronics before bed took longer to fall asleep, had less deep sleep, it took them longer to wake up the following morning, and they reported feeling sleepier and lethargic when they finally did wake up. Harvard's Dr. Anne-Marie Chang said that this can have adverse impacts on performance, health, and safety. Again, if we don't sleep the way nature intended us to sleep, we don't perform well. We're foggy, we're irritable. We put off that project. We avoid that conversation with our husband or our wife or our children or our boss or our colleagues. Dr. Dave Lee from the Children's Eye Center says by the age of 17, children would have spent 6 years looking at digital devices. That's frightening. He says, as we get older, the lens in our eyes naturally get a little bit more yellow, and that acts as a natural filter for that blue light. But here's the thing, for all you parents out there. Children have little or no yellowing to their lens, so they don't have that natural protection. Said another way, as we get older, we have a natural kind of blue light blocking filter that comes into our eyes as we mature. But when we're kids, we don't have that. So every time you hand your child a device that encourages them to look into the screen, you are literally setting them up for a lifetime of irritability, fogginess, and potential eye disease or eye problems. Dr. Sanjay Patel from Case Western Reserve University says the recent obesity epidemic has been accompanied by a parallel growth in chronic sleep deprivation. You can do all the best diets in the world. You can go and work out in the gym. You can choose whatever diet you want. But if you're then going to bed at night watching Netflix on your phone, not protecting your eyes from that artificial light, then you're compromising your sleep, and compromised sleep leads to a real problem in trying to metabolize and burn down fat, to grow muscle, to have energy throughout the day. So that all sounds like doom and gloom. I warned you it was bad news, didn't I? So let's turn the corner now and get some good news. What can we do about this? So these are 5 ways to ensure that you block the blue light at night and sleep better. Well, the first thing you can do is actually sit in the dark. Now, I know no one's going to do this. We live in the year 2022 as we're recording this. But in actual fact, the best thing that you could possibly do for your sleep is to live your life by candlelight, because flame and candle does not disrupt melatonin production. Remember the cavemen and the cave women? They were staring into the fire telling stories, but they slept just fine. That's because natural flame does not stimulate the pituitary and pineal gland. It's only artificial light. So we can either choose to sit in the dark, or we can just live our life by candlelight. Again, it's the year 2022. I'm guessing no one's really going to do that. So what can we do if we're not going to do that? If you have an iPhone or an Android, you can use the settings on your phone called Night Shift and Twilight. And what these do is that as the sun goes down and it goes increasingly into the nighttime, the devices will automatically strip out a lot of that blue light exposure, and your screen will start to go a yellow color, and ultimately, let's say around 10 o'clock at night, it might just be bright orange. Now that can certainly reduce the amount of blue light exposure that you are getting in your eyes. It's not foolproof, it doesn't give you 100% protection, but it gives you something. There is a piece of software that you can download for free from the internet called Flux, F.LUX. If you're using a desktop computer, again, the same thing. The clock on your computer will start to register what time it is, and it will start to strip away that blue light, and your screen will naturally start to turn a yellow and orange color as you increasingly move into the night. This is a company called Lighting Science. My company now does similar light bulbs where the light bulbs remove 99% of that artificial blue light and creates a very amber-like color. My company, Swanwick Sleep, produce these light bulbs, which when you turn them on, makes the room feel slightly pink. It's this very warm, cozy kind of feeling, and it strips away 99% of that blue light, which is responsible for compromising your sleep. The other thing you can do, which I think is the most powerful in 2022, if you're not going to sit in the dark, of course, and if you're not going to live your life by candlelight, is to wear protection, and protection from blue light. And the way to do that is to wear a pair of blue light blocking glasses. Now, these glasses that I'm wearing now are known as Swannies. My sleep company is called Swanwick Sleep, and the orange lens repels the blue light that comes out from the screens. Now, the opposite of blue is orange. The opposite of orange is blue. So blue light cannot penetrate an orange lens. So what you can do is you put these on in the last hour before you go to sleep. You can still watch your television show. You can still hold your phone in bed if you like, watching your favorite Netflix series, but you watch it through this lens. Now the blue light is not getting through, and now the melatonin production is starting to flow, and then once you've put your phone down and you've switched off the light and now you're in darkness, then you remove the glasses, roll over, excuse me, and fall asleep. A Swiss study of teenage boys published in the Journal of Adolescent Health showed that when boys donned blue light blocking glasses in the evening for a week, they felt significantly more sleepy than when they wore clear glasses. I'll talk a little bit about the distinction between clear lensed blue light blocking glasses and orange lensed blue light blocking glasses in just a moment. Separate independent studies show that blue light blocking glasses are an effective and inexpensive treatment for insomnia and sleep deprivation, and could also prove an effective treatment of mental illnesses such as bipolar disorder. This is how powerful it is when you block this nasty artificial light. That's my brother Tristan Swanwick. He's my youngest brother. He's the CEO of our sleep company at the moment. That's him wearing a pair of our glasses. Julia Rodriguez from Advanced Sleep Medicine Services in California says blue light blocking glasses block a significant amount of light, reducing the amount of time it takes for you to fall asleep at night. Christopher Colwell, who's a neuroscientist at the University of California, says anything that decreases that blue light exposure at night will be helpful. And Dr. Bruce, from his appearance on the Dr. Oz show, says we all need to seriously rethink our understanding of light and its effect on human health. He says, we live in a culture where electricity and artificial light are everywhere, inexpensive and always available in seemingly endless supply. So it's absolutely necessary that we stay educated and aware of all of light's possible effects on our brains and bodies. Only then can we minimize its dangers and risks to our health. These are twin boys. These are the sons of Ben Greenfield, who's a New York Times bestselling author, laying in bed reading while they're wearing their Swannies blue light blocking glasses. This is my niece Sadie and my mum Jill, rocking their pair of Swannies blue light blocking glasses. Again, really important that you encourage your children to wear blue light blocking glasses of some kind because they are the most susceptible to blue light damage. All right, so there are things that you can do first thing in the morning, at lunchtime, in the afternoon, in the evening, to make sure that you have the type of sleep that nature always intended you to sleep, which we corrupted with the modern world. So I'm now going to walk you through the gold standard of sleep. It's not just wearing a pair of blue light blocking glasses. There's many other things to this. And this is going to be what you do first thing in the morning and then throughout the day. Okay? So the gold standard of sleep. Number one is get as much morning sunlight on your skin as possible. Now the reason for this is that our skin has receptors in it. And when the sunlight hits our skin, it tells our body's internal clock, which is known as the circadian rhythm, this is wake up time. It's daytime. It's ready to go. So now your body will start to flood with daytime hormones. Okay? The other thing that's happening when this happens is that the body is now saying to itself, oh, okay, I got it. This is wake up time. I'm feeling the sun on my skin. I'm feeling the sun on your face. Got it. This is wake up time. So in 16 hours' time, the body's saying to itself, oh, I'll start to turn on the melatonin production. Because your internal clock, your circadian rhythm, wants to be told when it's daytime and when it's nighttime. So when you expose yourself to sunlight first thing in the morning, you're setting the clock. You're telling the body, time to get up, and you're also telling the body that in 16 hours' time, it's going to start preparing for sleep. Just on that as well, this morning, Scott and I worked out in the gym, and then we went for a walk. I said, let's go for a walk. And we went outside for only 5 minutes, and we just walked outside to the park. It was very cold, but we very intentionally and deliberately let the sunlight hit our face, get the sunlight on our skin. And it only took 5 minutes. And then we came back inside and we prepared for today. Okay? Tomorrow morning when we go for a walk around the lake here, it's with the intention of A, getting exercise, B, getting out of nature, C, connecting, and D, getting sunlight on our body to ensure that we sleep great tomorrow night. Make sense? So there's an intention to this. It's not just, let's go for a walk around the lake because we can. It's let's go for a walk around the lake in the sunlight so we sleep better tomorrow night. Studies show that morning exercise, as opposed to evening exercise, improves the quality of our sleep. Now, they think that it's because of 2 reasons. Number one, people who exercise in the morning tend to do so more regularly than those who do so in the evening, because it's the first thing you do in the morning, there's not distractions, life doesn't get in the way, whereas people who tend to exercise in the late afternoon or early evening tend to use the excuse that, something's come up, I can't do it, I'm too tired. That's one of the reasons. The second reason is because let me just return to that. So people who exercise in the morning tend to do so more regularly. And people who exercise more regularly tend to be healthier overall, reduce their stress and anxiety, tend to make better health decisions throughout the day. The second reason is that for optimal sleep, we want a cool core body temperature. And the closer that we work out to bedtime, the hotter our body gets and the less conducive it is to a great night's sleep. Okay, so we want cool body temperature for a great night's sleep. So we want to exercise as further away from sleep time as possible. There's some studies around this. Researchers tracked the sleep patterns of participants who worked out at 3 different times, at 7 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. Those who exercised at 7 a.m. slept longer and deeper than the other 2 groups and experienced up to 75% more time in that deep sleep stage at night. That's a lot. That's significant. So if you have no choice but to exercise in the afternoon or evening, try to do it at least 4 hours before you sleep. All right, who's a coffee drinker here? Who likes to drink coffee? Wow, there's a lot. Okay, well, maybe about 2/3 of the room. Who here has coffee in the afternoon? Who drinks coffee in the afternoon? Okay, maybe 1/3 of the room. All right. So here's the reality. Okay, coffee is a stimulant. No 2 ways about it. Can't change that. And stimulants stay in your body for about 10 hours. Coffee stays in your system for 10 hours. So if you're wanting to go to sleep at 10 and you're drinking a coffee at 2 in the afternoon, you are compromising your sleep because the stimulant is still in your system. Now, I've got coffee drinkers who swear that they have a cappuccino at nighttime and it helps them to fall asleep, or they fall asleep just fine. They're convinced their sleep is great, and they swear by their coffee. Now, while it's true that you can drink coffee and possibly fall asleep just fine, the reality is that the quality of your sleep is still going to be compromised. The amount of time that you spend in that deep REM restorative phase of sleep is going to be reduced if you have stimulants in your body of any kind. So if you are going to drink coffee, you're best doing that before 12 o'clock, assuming, of course, that you might want to choose to go to sleep at, say, 10 o'clock. So basically, whatever time you want to sleep at night, subtract 10, that's when you should have your last coffee of the day, if perfect sleep is your goal. If perfect sleep is not your goal, just keep drinking your coffee within 10 hours of sleep. But if sleep is your goal, subtract 10. No food within 1 hour of sleep, and ideally 3. Now here's the thing, when we eat food close to bedtime, what's our body doing? It's digesting the food, it's going to work. We're literally putting the body to work at a time when we're not wanting to put the body to work. We're wanting our body to go into a deep restorative phase of rest and relaxation. That's what sleep is. It's when we repair, we restore. But if you're eating food in the last hour before you go to sleep, you're saying, body, go to work. Body, don't sleep great tonight. So ideally, don't eat within 3 hours of sleep. Definitely not within 1 hour of sleep. Everyone should be able to resonate with this in this room, given we're all quitting alcohol or have quit alcohol. Literally, this is going to sound ridiculous, but if you are going to drink alcohol, you are literally better going to the pub at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning and having a beer and then letting your body get rid of the alcohol throughout the rest of the day and then go to sleep.
Can I quote you on that?
It's not an invitation for you to do this. It's not an invitation.
Swanwick told me.
No having Bloody Marys, beer, wine, vodka, whatever, within 3 hours of bedtime, certainly. I think everyone here knows it. We're all here striving to just get alcohol out of our life for the most part, either completely or at the very least, drink only modestly or moderately. Certainly that's not an invitation either. But literally, if you have a glass of wine or a beer or whatever you have in the last 3 hours a night, while it is true that it may indeed make you feel sleepy and it may help you to nod off and fall asleep, the quality of your sleep is going to be compromised. So again, I have people who swear that they go, oh, but the wine helps me relax at the end of the day, it helps me to fall asleep. Well, that might be true. It might help you fall asleep, but the quality of your sleep, no bueno. It's not just waking up feeling like you've got toxins in your body because of the alcohol. It's also because you just didn't spend enough time in that deep restorative phase of sleep during the night, which is why we wake up feeling tired and lethargic and going, oh, I wish I hadn't had that drink the night before. I mentioned this before, sleeping in a cool environment is paramount. Between 66 and 69 degrees Fahrenheit is perfect. That's a little chilly, I have to say. Last night, I set it to 68. Yesterday and last night was a particularly cold day, wasn't it? It was freezing here. And admittedly, a few hours before we went out to dinner last night, I was feeling cold in the room, and I put the temperature up to 71 degrees, I think it was. And when I returned to my bedroom or to my hotel room last night after dinner, the room felt nice and snuggly and warm, but I also knew that that wasn't going to be great for my sleep. So I very intentionally turned the temperature down, even though I quite liked that cozy feeling of 71 degrees. So I turned it down to, I think, 68 degrees last night. It took a little while for the temperature to drop because it probably takes a good hour, 75 minutes maybe, to drop 2 or 3 degrees. But I dropped it down, and then last night I had a great night's sleep. So we're talking about light a lot here. Light, I think, is just a huge contributing factor to poor sleep. So if you can have blackout dark curtains that stops any of the light from outside coming in, that is going to help you get a great night's sleep, both just before you go to sleep and also in the morning. So I like the curtains here in the hotel that we're staying in. They're heavy, they're dark. It's challenging for light to get through. A lot of nice hotels have dark, heavy curtains, don't they? So I often sleep particularly well in a hotel, provided, of course, I've turned off their alarm clock or I've turned off the light that lights up the air conditioning unit, because all of that light is junk light that's keeping us awake. But if you can have dark, heavy curtains that block out most of that light, that prevents you from waking up too early in the morning, that's going to be incredibly helpful. Because remember, if you wake up, let's just say you want to wake up at 7 and the sun gets up at 6:15, the moment that light is shining through your window and it's hitting the skin receptors are picking up on that sunlight and going, oh, okay, time to wake up. But maybe you want to sleep through to 7. Maybe you didn't get to sleep until 11 p.m. and you want the 8 hours. You need the 8 hours. You want to make sure that sunlight's not coming in at that time. Okay, you want to wake up after let's say 7 or 8 hours, and then you open the curtains and then you let the light intentionally hit your skin. Or you get up and you go outside and you just stand there and let the sunlight hit your skin, which again is then telling your internal body clock, your circadian rhythm, daytime, time to start flooding the body with daytime hormones. Number 8, wear a pair of blue blockers and block as much of that artificial light as possible. Now again, these are the Swannies blue light blocking glasses from Swanwick Sleep. A lot of people ask me what is the difference between wearing a pair of these, which I'll just model for you now, with the orange lens, okay, and then a pair of these, which is also from my company. These are Swannies daytime blue light blocking glasses. The difference is that in the known universe that we occupy, only an orange lens can block enough of the artificial blue light that is responsible for compromising our sleep. Orange, like I said earlier, is the opposite of blue. Blue is the opposite of orange. You must wear an orange lens pair of glasses at nighttime to block enough of that blue light that is responsible for messing with your sleep. These clear lens glasses will not cut the mustard, as they say. What that means is that they're not going to block, they're going to be unable to block as much of the artificial blue light responsible for compromising your sleep. Now, these are great for daytime computer use. What would be more accurate to call them blue light blocking glasses would be blue light filtering glasses. Because what these do is they block out some of the blue light, a lot of the blue light. It filters the blue light. So if you're on a screen all day and you're typing away, or on your phone all day and you're typing away, it filters that light. It enables you to have clarity and focus. It avoids the fogginess and the irritability and the tired eyes from staring at a screen all day. So it helps with that. However, if you think that wearing a pair of clear lens blue light blocking glasses at nighttime is going to block enough of that blue light that's messing with your sleep, it's a physical impossibility. Now, there are many blue light blocking glasses companies out there that will produce these clear lens glasses, and in their marketing they will say, been shown to help with sleep. That is completely and utterly false. It's true that blue light blocking glasses help with your sleep, but only if it's an orange lens. So make no mistake, clear lens are only for daytime use, orange lens are only for nighttime use. Daytime clear, nighttime orange. Keep a consistent sleep schedule. Go to bed at the same time if you can. Wake up at the same time if you can. After a bad night's sleep, don't try to go to bed earlier. Don't try to make up for it. Regularity is king. This can often feel incredibly challenging, especially if you're jet lagged after flying between countries. I can't tell you how many times I fly into Australia from the US and the flight leaves at 11 p.m. from Los Angeles and gets into Brisbane, Australia at 7 a.m. 2 days later, because we skip over a day. And of course, after a 14 and a half, 15-hour flight, when you get there at 7 a.m., you kind of want to go to sleep. I have to do my best to resist the urge to go to sleep, try to stay up as late as I can so my body can get onto that circadian rhythm of the Southern Hemisphere. It's challenging. But if you can, try your best. Have a wind down routine. Like landing a plane, it takes time to wind down. A lot of what we're talking about here is not just quitting drinking or sleeping better, but it's really reducing our stress and anxiety in general, isn't it? And how do we do that? Well, we live a life of appreciation rather than expectation. We write down and journal our thoughts and our emotions. And studies have shown that if you write down what you're thinking about or what you're feeling and, excuse my French, but vomit out your anxiety, that can put us in a nice relaxed stage or phase which helps us to fall asleep quicker and sleep deeper. A hot bath, not too soon before bed. Again, we want to have the core body temperature nice and low, but if you are going to have a hot bath, maybe you'd have it 2 or 3 hours before sleep and then let your core body temperature start to drop. Meditation, listening to binaural beats, dimming the lights, obviously, and anything you can do to relax, relax, relax. Now, I am as guilty as the next person of looking on my phone and using electronics in the last hour before to sleep. I'm not going to stand here in front of you and claim that I'm not using electronics in the last hour before I go to sleep. But I promise you, every single time I am, which is pretty much every night for the past 7 years, since 2015 when I started the sleep company, I've been wearing a pair of these blue light blocking glasses. So even though I'm guilty of watching Game of Thrones and Yellowstone and whatever TV series I'm into at that moment, or mindless scrolling, I'm doing so through a pair of blue light blocking glasses. All right, so just to round this out, foods that can help you sleep better. Now, before I go through these foods, I want to be clear that in my opinion, and certainly the studies support this, nothing can move the needle on your sleep more than blocking as much artificial light at night as possible and exposing yourself to as much natural sunlight first thing in the morning. So while I am going to show you these foods that have been shown to help people sleep better, in my personal opinion, these will move the needle only just a little bit. Okay? Really blocking artificial light at night, getting as much natural sunlight in the morning is going to move the needle the most. So fish. Fish is rich in tryptophan, which is a natural sedative. Shrimp, cod, tuna, and halibut have the highest levels. Make sure that you're getting, wild catches, wild salmon, Alaskan wild salmon is much better, not the farm-raised stuff. And tryptophan it can be found in many sleep supplements, for example. And fish is rich in tryptophan. It's a natural sedative. Drinking lemon balm. It's part of the mint family. It's been a sleep-inducing food for ages. In one study, 81% of people with minor sleep problems who took a combination of the herbs reported sleeping better than those put on a placebo. So you can drink it. You can find it in various supplements. But lemon balm has been shown to help people relax. Chamomile is the same. It's another herb that works really well. It's been used as a herbal remedy for insomnia for thousands of years. In one animal study, it calmed down mice as effectively as tranquilizers. And in the only human study, the herb reduced mild to moderate generalized anxiety disorder much better than the placebo. So ready-made chamomile teas are obviously everywhere in supermarkets, and it's an easy remedy for you guys to get your hands on. Now, bananas, these are packed with potassium and magnesium. They're two minerals that promote muscle relaxation. Again, I wouldn't be encouraging you to have bananas in the last 3 hours before you go to sleep because like we talked about before, we're not wanting to put our body to work. But if you are going to eat and you want a dessert after your meal and it's outside of those 3 hours, eating a banana, I would say, can certainly increase your likelihood of having a good night's sleep. Again, I want to be clear, this moves the needle just a little bit. Nothing's going to be more effective than blocking artificial light. Some people believe, and studies are certainly supporting this, that you can wear calming jewelry, including rose quartz, which can relieve anxiety, tension, intense emotions, and overthinking. This really falls into the category of just do whatever you can to relax. Okay, do whatever you can, whatever feels right. Sleeping positions. So sleeping on your back or side is important, but not your stomach. Who here sleeps on their stomach? Sometimes, yeah. So studies show that the three main sleeping positions, such as side, back, and stomach, the best is going to be sleeping on your back or sleeping on your side. Now, sleeping on your back is a great choice because it prevents back and neck pain as well as reducing acid reflux. Sleeping on your stomach can be problematic because it prevents a neutral spine position and adds pressure to joints and muscles. Okay? Now, if you are going to sleep this way, you may either want to purchase a thin pillow or use no pillow at all. Have an orgasm. Doctor's orders. It releases relaxing hormones like serotonin, oxytocin, and prolactin. So no more complaining about your husband or your wife rolling over and falling asleep immediately after sex. It shows. It works. Serotonin, oxytocin, prolactin are released, induces sleepiness, induces sleep. It's a great way to ensure that you fall asleep quickly. And if you can do all of that, block the blue light, reduce stress and anxiety, and live a life of intention with wellness, then you'll be sleeping beauty like this guy. And that is the gold standard of sleep. All right, so Thank you. I will take questions. Yes, Tony.
Okay, you talk about light bulbs that have reduced blue lights in them. Now, your first item was get as much morning sun as possible. Now, wherever you live in the country or shift work or some places that have no light, would full spectrum light bulbs adequately replace the sun? Is there another replacement for that?
Not adequately, but it will replace it somewhat. So there's a brand, I think it's Panasonic or Philips. It starts with a P. I'm not sure which one it is. And it's called the Wake Up light bulb or the Wake Up alarm. And what it will do is, let's say you want to wake up at 7. At 6:45, it'll start to gradually release some light. And by the time it's 7, it's like blasting in your face. So you're right, when I went outside this morning before I went into the gym, it was still pitch black. I don't think the sun got up until about 7:20 this morning. Is that right? Yeah. So in that case, if you went to bed at 10 and your intention was to wake up at 6 and you were home, of course, you could have this wake up lamp be your alarm clock, right? So it will gradually start to turn on the light. I think the device actually starts to play some music and some sound as well, so it doubles as an alarm clock also. And then you can position that strategically, if you like, in your bathroom or in your kitchen and just have it blasting on you. And again, it's not as effective as natural sunlight, but it's enough to get you going. Is that helpful? Yeah. Again, I don't know. The company starts with a P. It's either Philips or Panasonic. If you just go on Amazon and type in. Have you found it? Yeah. What does it say?
Philips Smart Sleep.
Philips. Sorry, I was static there. Yeah. Although there's plenty of them there. In fact.
Patch looks good.
Yeah.
A sunrise alarm clock.
Sunrise. If you type in sunrise, alarm clock, wake up light, that kind of stuff, I'm sure you'll find something effective. Great question. Yeah.
Is it recommended to wear the orange Swannies glasses while having an orgasm?
Well, if you want to look stylish.
Hey, why don't you get some of those?
Yeah. I like your way of thinking. I'm a big fan. Yes?
What about the over-the-counter sleep aids? Do you recommend them, or what do you think of them?
When you say over-the-counter, do you mean prescription?
No, I'm talking about
Melatonin?
melatonin, and then you have the regular pills
Like
that people.
Advil PM and things like that.
I can't think of the names of them. But,
Yeah, great question. This is Victoria's father, by the way. This is Bob. Welcome. Great to have you here. So yeah, let me answer that. So I'm just trying to think whether the word anti is too strong. I am against prescription drugs for the most part because my belief is that most ailments can be solved with holistic living, with natural solutions. Okay. Prescription drugs, including Ambien and Xanax, etc., they will put you to sleep, but they come with nasty side effects. So it will help you fall asleep. It will help you stay asleep, but when you wake up, you are foggy, right? You're not feeling great. And a lot of people get addicted to those things, whether it's physically or mentally, and then you're stuck in this vicious cycle. So I'm anti-prescription drugs. I'm anti that. Over-the-counter drugs. Melatonin is fine on occasion. Now, the reason for that is that if you start taking too much of this, or you're doing it too regularly, your body stops naturally producing it on its own. It gets used to being fed this melatonin in supplement form. And then the problem is that you come off that, and now all of a sudden your melatonin's not firing. Right? It's a lot more challenging for your body to naturally start producing it. So on occasion, yes, if you're not sleeping particularly well and you wish to for 2 or 3 days and you want to take some melatonin, go for it. But let's just only keep it 2 or 3 days because anything after that is going to prolong the problem long term. Is that helpful?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Great question. Thank you. Que más, as they say in Spanish. The clear. Prescription. Yes. Yeah. My company, Swanwick Sleep, we do prescription glasses, yeah, on the website. I wish that it's a shame that I couldn't give you guys some blue light blocking glasses, although I could be lying and say that I actually have a pair here for everyone. Am I lying or am I telling the truth?
Tell the truth.
Seriously?
I have a pair of glasses for everyone.
I'll let you know about the organ. Yeah, you can.
Yeah. I want a live stream of the orgasm while wearing the Swannies. Yes. Yeah. It's for science. It's for science. Yeah. So I've got a few. I think I've got 2 or 3 pairs here of fit overs. Now, who wears prescription glasses here? Okay, great. So I've got a pair. I think I haven't checked, but I did request some fit overs. So they go over the top of your existing prescription glasses. In order to get prescription glasses in this lens, you've got to order them online. It's a little bit of a lengthier process, but I wanted to make sure that you went away wearing at least the fit overs. The fit overs, you probably wouldn't want to have sex or an orgasm wearing the fit overs because they're not as sightly or as attractive as just wearing the normal ones. But they're incredibly effective. They sit very snugly over your glasses, and they're incredibly effective. Now, I hope I haven't overplayed this and they didn't send them to me, but I did ask my team to ensure they gave me at least 3 pairs. If they're not here for those prescription wearers, for whatever reason, I promise I will send you a pair of the fit overs, okay? If they're not in this box. I'll find out when I finish here in 5 minutes. So yeah, pair of Swannies for everyone. Oh, you're welcome. Of course, my pleasure. Yes?
So the blue lights, all those little lights that are going off in our rooms and spaces when we're trying to sleep, are the bad ones. We can cover them with, electrical tape or something. But what about things like a night light that's, kind of a glow in the bathroom off to the side? Are those okay if they're white and a glow, or that's bad?
Simple answer is no. But you could... my company and other companies have those nighttime light bulbs that have stripped away the blue light. That's fine. So a light bulb that's removed the artificial blue light and creates an amber glow, a pink kind of glow, they're fine. Okay, they're perfectly fine. Now, truth be known is that they remove 100% of the blue light, but legally we're only allowed to say 99%. We're not allowed to say 100%. They're safe. They're effective. SwanwickSleep.com is my company. We sell those light bulbs. You can find them there. To answer your question, though, if you are wearing a pair of the blue light blocking glasses and you've got that light over there, that's fine. Because, like I said, I'm guilty as the next person of doing this. Like, I hop into bed sometimes and I watch 20 minutes of Netflix rubbish before I go to sleep, but I'm doing so with the glasses. Now, here's a common mistake that people make. They put these glasses on in the last hour, right? And they think, oh, great, I'm blocking the blue light. And then they go to the bathroom and they go, okay, right, I'm going to brush my teeth. Brush my teeth now, okay? So what's happening? Now the sun, the mini sun or the sun from the bathroom light is now staring into your eyes, and now your body's going, what? Is it nighttime? Is it daytime? What's going on here? It's stimulating the pituitary and pineal gland. So what I advise you to do, I did say this earlier, but it's definitely worth repeating, is you put these glasses on and you keep them on until the last light is turned off. So for example, in my hotel room last night, I crawled into bed. I'm watching I'm watching a series at the moment called Money Heist. Has anyone seen this? Money Heist is a Spanish-speaking thing. I'm on season 3. I watched 25 minutes of it, and I watched it through the lens of these blue light blocking glasses. And then I turned the phone off. I put it on the bedside table. There's a bedside lamp. Everyone here, I think, staying in the hotel, right? Bedside lamp. I switched off the light. Now I'm in darkness, and then in the darkness, I removed the glasses and I went and put them on the bedside table. I actually missed. They fell off last night, and I was like, whatever. But better to do that than to be watching Money Heist on Netflix and go, oh, yeah, okay. and then turn it off. Because even those 5 seconds that you're exposing yourself to light again is putting you in a position where your pituitary and pineal glands are going to be stimulated, and your body's going to start going, oh, it's daytime again. Even though you're so sleepy and you can't keep your eyes open another second, it's still stimulating your body and your brain. Okay, so only remove these glasses in the darkness. It's only 2 seconds. Keep wearing them until the last light is off.
Thank you. And one last question. Do you have them in over-the-counter readers?
Yes, we do. We've got readers as well, yeah. Yeah, you can... Swanwick Sleep is the website. I'm sure... I didn't think to get a discount code, actually, because I was giving you guys a pair. So, yeah. But there are readers. There are readers there. Maybe there's a reader in there. I'm not sure. I'll have to take a closer look. But yeah, we do readers, we do prescription, we do fit over, we do regular glasses. Okay? We do daytime glasses, and we do nighttime glasses. Victoria, you had a question?
Yes, I learned a great lesson from James when I started working with him, and he told me very sternly that he would stop responding to any messages from me that came in after 11 p.m. my time, or may have been 10. So I took his suggestion on moving the phone out of reach into the bathroom when I go to bed. That was very helpful. So any suggestions?
Yeah. Very helpful for you, not as helpful for me who can't reach you at 11 o'clock at night. But great, well done.
James is awake.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, but that's very true, because listen, we're joking here, obviously, but you know, I run an organization, and let's just say that you know, I feel like I want and need Victoria to be at the best, to be the best version of Victoria that she can be, because that's going to be great for all of our clients. It's going to be great for her. It's going to be great for her life. She's going to be focused. She's going to have strategy. She's going to be happy. She's going to have an enjoyable work experience. She's already shared with me many times that she feels incredibly fulfilled from being able to serve so many people. It does not serve Victoria. It does not serve me. It does not serve any of you if Victoria's sleep is being compromised, because that's going to leave Victoria irritable and foggy and distracted. So I don't want Victoria answering my messages after 10 o'clock at night, preferably not after 8 o'clock, really. And if you are going to do that, be sure you're wearing a pair of blue light blocking glasses. But at the same time, don't do that. So yeah, you know, I mean, I put in our sleep company, in my other companies in Swanwick Sleep, I wouldn't say it's a rule, it's more like a request or an invitation, and that is switch off, get out of work mode. Like, even if me being the owner of the company or my brother being the CEO of the company is messaging you at 10 o'clock at night, do not respond. Respond in the morning. Because a happy workforce is a happy company, and a happy company has happy people, and happy people are not irritable and frustrated and stressed and anxious, and then you can have employee retention. People want to come and work for you. You put a focus on health and wellness. Everyone is just living life without all this drama that can be created from a poor night's sleep. Make sense? To speak to the other point that Victoria brought up there, listen, I work in health and wellness. I work in optimization. I work in healthy habits, and I am still guilty of taking my damn phone to bed. It doesn't matter how many times sleep doctors all over the world tell me, get off your electronics in the last hour before you go to sleep. I don't do it. I just don't. I'd love to stand here and tell you that I do, but I don't. I was watching Money Heist at 10:30 last night. But I was doing it with a pair of blue light blocking glasses. Another question. Yes.
It's kind of a technical question. And first, one thing, Bob, thanks for the question about the wake-up lights and everything like that, because this time of year, the sun comes up so late in the morning and goes down so early at night, that it's a little bit tricky, the not coming up till after 7 o'clock in the morning. I can see a use for this. But like going outside and standing in the sun, is it so much important that you get the blue light in your eyes, or is it also like skin receptors, because there is no like UV light coming in at that hour in the morning because the angle of the sun's too low. So is it actually like, are there skin receptors for the sunlight for blue light, or is it more important in the eye?
The biggest emitter of blue light is what?
Electronics?
Nope. What's the world's biggest emitter of blue light? Nope. The sun. It's the sun. So here's the thing. We actually want blue light.
Yeah,
We want blue light.
to wake up, but, you know,
Yeah, we want it during the daytime.
But it's like, yeah, so it's the actual blue light and not the ultraviolet light for vitamin D, because those are like two different things, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, because the shocking thing to me, just as an aside, is that where I live in New York City, this time of the year, like I got a vitamin D minder for like getting amount of sun, vitamin D and stuff. You, like in New York City, you can only like get like vitamin D like between like, even in the summertime, between like 10 and 4, because the sun has to be
Yeah.
high in the sky, and like for months out of the year, the sunlight doesn't do any good for vitamin D. That's why we're all vitamin D deficient in the northern hemisphere. So anyway, I don't really know where I was going with that question. I would be very curious, like, nobody's probably studied sleep in New York City. I'm sure it's terrible. But like they've replaced all of our street lights from the sodium pressure lamps, which were nice and yellow, to like all these like bright blue LED lights to save money. And it is like you go outside at night and it's just forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Everyone here will start to notice how much junk light there is at night now.
yeah.
And especially in the hotel rooms here.
Oh, I saw the back little,
Yeah,
the
that
backlight thing, and not only was it light, it was very blue.
Yes, it's pushing button.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Some people like to just pull out the cord from the alarm clock in a hotel thing. I haven't done this yet, but what I feel like doing is getting it and smashing it on the ground, jumping up and down, and it's everywhere. All right, for time, we're going to wrap up there. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I want to load you up with some free stuff. If you look in the show description, there's a link there to get my guide, which is the Alcohol Freedom Formula Guide. And in that guide, I will walk you through the process and system for successfully reducing or quitting alcohol. It's the same system and process that I give to my clients inside of Project 90. And if you would like to get your hands on that guide, you can click the link in the description part of this episode, or you can go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/guide. Likewise, if you would like to be considered for Project 90 to join our community and get some accountability, some coaching, and have fun, achieve some goals over at least 90 days with our help and support, then you're invited to schedule a complimentary coaching call with one of my coaches. You can do that by clicking the link in the show description or going to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/schedule. Now, Project 90 is for over 30s only, and it's really for people who are ready to get long-term power over alcohol. You don't have to quit forever, but you will have to quit for at least 90 days with our support. Just a reminder, 95% of my content is free and plastered all over the internet. If you just Google James Swanwick and the word alcohol, you'll find that. For those of you who want additional support, if you want coaching, fun, accountability, if you realize that you can't do this on your own or you just plain don't want to, then I invite you to schedule that call and we can talk about if Project 90 is for you. If you would like to take some of my supplements, swanvitality.com is the website. I'll put a link in the show notes as well. I have a liver support product called Loving Liver, which I designed and specially formulated to help remove toxins from your liver after years of alcohol consumption. Again, there's a link in the show description. We've also got a green powder there, which turns into a green juice filled with amazing ingredients to support you and give you energy throughout the day. And there's also a magnesium product, which I take every night to help me prepare for sleep and to sleep through the night. So there's a few options there. Lastly, if this episode or the show in general has helped you or supported you in any way, I would so appreciate it if you would write a review. It really does help the show climb the rankings and expose the show to people who don't yet know about us. So if this show has benefited you in any way and you feel compelled to pay it forward, just writing a short little review, hopefully a nice one, will be so appreciated, and I will thank you immensely. Lastly, if you'd like to talk to me about anything at all, feel free to send me an email at james@alcoholfreelifestyle.com. I do read and respond to every email. And you can also follow me on Instagram at James Swanwick. Send me a message there. And I look forward to connecting with you soon. Catch you on the next one.